Hi, it's John, and this video is on how to make authentic Korean kimchi. The ingredients that you need are a root of daikon, 1 leek, fresh ginger, and of course chili powder or red pepper. And then I have 3 heads of Napa cabbage, of which I'm only going to use probably about half of that after it's cleaned and cut, because you don't want to use any leaves that have any bacteria on them, bruising, or anything like that. You also need a saline solution. I use sea salt for the best flavor. The salt level that I use is slightly less than sea level, which means that this floats at 1 notch above the green level. We have all the ingredients for the spices chopped up. We've got the garlic, probably about 10 cloves. These are going to soak in whatever salt water I have left. But the actual Napa cabbage is going to ferment by itself. And notice how large I cut this, because when this ferments down, this piece is going to end up being a little tiny piece. Now, temperature is very critical on this. You want to ferment this at about 110 degrees for about 24 hours. I use a crock pot. This might start to make sense to you now, because the liquid that comes out of here is going to be reused. The liquid that we're fermenting the Napa cabbage in is going to be garbage. So you want to use as little liquid on this as possible. This is about 15 diced super garlics. And homemade kimchi has got a really, really heavy garlic taste. And if you're going to can, invest in new lids once in a while, because these things don't last forever. Basically what you do is you're going to have spillage. So you go ahead, spill away, put that on there. And this was very warm water that I put this in. We're going to let these soak at room temperature for 24 hours. And the liquid in these is going to end up going and mixing with the cabbage that we use that's fermenting. And the cabbage is all going to be drained off from that salt solution. Now, there are a couple things I forgot, but it's not too late. You want to add just a little bit of sugar, not very much. It's not for flavor, it's for a fermentation starter. Maybe a teaspoon, not very much. And so we'll just put that in there. And this is pretty hot. It's about 120 degrees, a little hotter than I would like, but we'll just turn that down. And I'll keep an eye on that temperature, it'll come down. But this screen is going to keep this cabbage underneath the water. And then we put this on top of here. And then we use this OSHA-approved device to make sure it stays put. Like I said, it's OSHA-approved. I wouldn't do it if it wasn't safe. Okay, that's good. We've got our ginger and garlic here ready, and our leek, and then here's our daikon roots that are sliced up, and here's 2 tablespoons of red pepper or chili pepper, whatever you want to call it. Don't use more than that, because 2 tablespoons doesn't sound like much for over a gallon of kimchi, but trust me on this, it's going to be plenty hot. So we'll see you in 24 hours. Okay, it's been 24 hours. This has stayed at about 110 degrees, give or take a few degrees. All the water that this is in is wastewater. Take it and put it in the strainer. You put the lime in the coconut and drink the bullap. You put the lime in the coconut and then you feel better as a doctor. I want to make sure all the water's out of this, or at least most of it. First of all, we want to drain off the juice from the daikon. The juice from the daikon and the ginger and garlic are the lime in the coconut, they drink the bullap, the lime in the coconut, and then you feel better.
Great.
Now, you've probably seen this bowl before. I think it comes from Hollywood. It's called the Hollywood Bowl. Now, that's the mixed kimchi. As you can see, all the ingredients are mixed in real good. And this should have a leathery texture to it if it's fermented properly. Like I said, those huge leaves that you saw, that's why you cut this stuff up real big. Otherwise you end up with little tiny itsy bitsy pieces. We're going to do a final drain on this because it's still a little bit wet with non-spiced salt water, and we want just the spicy water. And I got a tool for everything. So this is the good stuff. It's good stuff, man. Here's my kimchi packer, right here. And then we cap it off with lots of spice. When these kimchi jars are finished cold pickling in the refrigerator, you can use this juice with olive oil for a rather unique oriental tasting salad dressing. It is dexterous. Look at that, no bubbles, no troubles. Nine 26:09. There's two reasons for this. One, you don't want to open these too soon. And two, you may just want to save one of these for a couple years, because I tell you what, there's nothing better than really good aged kimchi. And here's one last tip about kimchi from my good friend Al. Good kimchi is like a lockbox. You don't want to open it too soon because it could contribute to global warming, and we don't want that. So just keep it locked up real tight for a couple months, and that way no greenhouse gases will escape. Thank you, and have a nice evening.